Hello and welcome to The Tech Boy, This Week in Tech podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in the Tech Boy podcast. Today is October 21st, 2023, and it is currently 3:59 Central Time, and we have plenty to talk about today. So, we're going to push I'm going to see if we can get our boogie board review out next week. We're at article 298. So I'll see if we can make that our 300th article. We should be receiving an alpha Wi-Fi antenna on Monday, which means I'll be able to demonstrate ButterCap and some of those Wi-Fi hacking techniques that I was talking about, because it supports 5 gigahertz, which means I can demonstrate it on like the house Wi-Fi and of course on my own personal hotspot, which on Android, or at least on Samsung phones, you can switch between 5 and 2.4 gigahertz. Speaking of Samsung, I have downloaded today a quick share application. So it's the Samsung quick share application, and I can easily quick share files between my phone and my computer. It's really fast, and I have 7 video files, about 2 to 3 seconds, that I all transferred over in a few seconds. And oh, hello to our first visitor. I transferred them over to in a few seconds, and they will all be played on here because I will be demonstrating this smart golf center in Houston, Texas. Also on the podcast, we will be talking about some things that happen in Down Gideon Lane and some really important Adventures in Odyssey related poll results. Let me check my notes here. I have also converted over to Microsoft Launcher again. So we'll see how long that stands. Okay, let's see. We're going to talk about. Oh, and of course, we're going to talk about the Oneplus Open and this dialer application that I keep saying I'm going to talk about. But we're going to talk about it today. All this and more on This Week in the Tech Boy podcast. First, let's get to today's headlines from thetechboy.org. Really important thing that we had going here right now, and I'm actually going to demonstrate live on camera, which this will then get clipped and then posted to the bottom of this article. We're going to talk about how to make a news ticker on Android. So a news ticker would be basically like seeing this, look bottom of your screen, how you can see like news headlines down there. It says subscribe down there. Well, that should allow you to, like, we're basically going to do this, but on the news. So I made a news video, and I wanted to make a news ticker. So I figured out how to do it using Alight Motion, and this is how you do it. So first, what you must do is you must open Alight Motion. So I'm going to share my screen with you all. There you go. This is the TechBoy website, okay? And once again, we have the Samsung Galaxy M8 versus M7 winning again. Here we go. How to make a news ticker effect on your phone. And this is what the effect would look like. Basically, this is a GIF or a GIF, however you pronounce it. And it's basically looks like that. So the first thing that you'll want to do is you want to open Alight Motion. So I'm going to put the camera down like so. That way you can see the. Oh, I almost forgot. In what's the software called? Microsoft Launcher. You can, instead of having like swipe, you can scroll up, kind of like your own personal little TikTok. So first thing we're going to do is going to pick Alight Motion. Okay. And I'm just going to create a brand new thing here. In the article, you can see that I linked my template. So you can basically do this by yourself. Just change the text into words. Where's my template? Oh, well, I will have the template linked because it didn't transfer over. I will have this template linked, and all you have to do is change the text and the words like the words and like I guess that's it, and colors, and you can make your own thing. But I'm going to demonstrate how you do it. So first things you have to do is you have to press the plus button. Okay, so to create a new project. Okay, so it's going to create a project using those settings. I did not pay for a light motion. It doesn't matter. Okay, and hopefully you can see this on the screen. I'm actually going to make it like bigger. There we go. The thing that you want to do is you're going to push the plus button and you're going to pick like a squiggle right there, and then you're going to make it span the whole width of the screen, and you're going to move it down there. Okay, now in mine I turned it white, but it really doesn't matter what color rectangle you have. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to click the plus button again, and then you're going to add a text layer. This will be your first text, so it could just say like hi or whatever. It's hi. Okay, and then when you're done, you click the check mark button up there, and you'll scroll here. Now, most of the time this is capitalized, so I'm actually going to go in here. I'm going to click edit text, and I'm going to capitalize it. Okay. And of course, you can change the font size with the slider here, and you can change like the font, like type of font and the font color. So I'm going to choose black here. Oh, no, it's blue. There we go. There's black. And you just click check. And then the most important thing that you must do, you must make sure that it looks like it's on the left on this side. Wait, it's on the right on the screen, but this is on the right. So you want to make sure this is all the way on the right, because we scroll on the news from it scrolls towards the left. Okay, and so you'll click move and transform. And what you do, make sure that your timeline is it's at 000, right? And you'll leave it there. You'll scroll a little bit, just a little bit, and move it. Oh wait, sorry. Just you click the keyframe button. I need to put that in the tutorial. You move it, 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 etc. Okay, and then I'm just gonna hit this arrow here and make that smaller. And once you press play, you can see how it does that. Then what you want to do is you're going to click this, and you're going to click this box here, and you're going to say save preset, and then you're going to name the preset. I'm just going to name it move. Okay, and then what you're going to do is going to add another text layer, and I'm just going to make sure it's like basically the same size. It's going to say Samsung, all caps. Okay, change the colors, same thing that you did last time, right? And then you're going to take whatever, stretch it out. Make sure it's offset away from the first text, okay? Because when it's moving and scrolling, you don't want them interfering with each other, okay? And then click check. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on the text that says Samsung. You're going to click the star that says presets. And I'm going to click the move preset. The ticker preset is what I use in like my real video, but since I'm doing a demonstration, I'm going to click the move preset, and boom. See how it's moving at the same speed? You're going to click apply. But unfortunately, since Samsung like is so big, it's running over each other. So what you do is you take the text and you scoot it over even further, and you click boom, boom, right? But I want it to like close, like a little closer. So you just like kind of play around with that. And then, oh, what you want to do is you scrunch up the, like to the exact same length so that they move at the same rate of speed, right? And if you want, you can make this longer, but you have to make sure you add more keyframes so it keeps moving for your presets if you need a longer preset. And you keep doing that, you add the text, and then you click this button here, and you export. You can either, so if you want to export as a template, you click this tab here. You have to have an account on a light motion, a free account, and you click export, and then you can like edit that template anytime you need to change the text to your ticket, right? But if you want to import it into a video, what you do is you export it as a GIF or a GIF, right? So I already have my one that we added into the video. right? So you take your GIF or GIF, make sure it's at 1080p Ohio, so if the resolution is good. What you do is you go into your video editor. Unfortunately, Luma Fusion didn't support this, and Shortcut had some cropping issues. So what you're going to do is I'm going to take my GIF or GIF, right? And I'm also going to put just over some video of a plane. So I'm going to take this plane here. I'm going to click next. Okay, I'm just making sure no personal information comes out. This is just a video of a plane flying. Not really important, right? What you're looking for is at the bottom of the screen. And then you're going to click this plus button, right? I'm going to click the plus button and click my GIF. And you click Add Overlay. And you pick it, right? Okay. Okay. And then watch me push play. Okay. So I'm pushing play. As you can see here, it has an light motion watermark on here, and it's like a black screen or a checkered screen, whatever. Right, so I'm going to move this down here and expand it so it like fills the full length of the screen. But unfortunately, when you click crop on free settings, there you go. You can't crop all the way down. See, it's still black. I don't know why. So what you want to do is trying to make it, boom, it's the full length of the screen, right? What you want to do is you click the orange, right, and you click mask, and then you click split. But see, it deletes the part that you want to keep. What you do is you click invert, and that inverts it, and then you click this little icon here and drag it all the way down so all the black is gone, and then you have your white wood chip or your orange wood chip. I know that you can't really see on the focus, but there, right? And then you click the check mark, and you can make it as long as you like because it's a GIF/GIF, and as long as you have a video above it, they show the words on the bottom, and you have your own little news ticker. So that is how you add a news ticker to in video editing, and you can export your video from Shortcut. So that is how you add a news ticker to Shortcut. All right, now we're going to go over to our next headlines from TheTechBoy.org. And don't worry, we're going to talk about the Oneplus Open. I watched all their videos except for Miss Tuesday Boss, so I can get a live reaction from it right from there. And I have an apology to make. I know, it's a shock. It's a shock that I'm making a public apology. But I'm making an apology to all my Team 13ers. I'm not using Google Messages anymore. Google Messages, and it's not like, oh, privacy, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not nothing like that. Don't worry. Google Messages brings RCS to Android devices, right? Android, one of the main reasons to get over iOS is its customizability, right? And just the fact that it's, better, right? I mean, on the iPhone 15, they're treating USB-C as if it's a feature when it's been a feature since like 2016. Okay, but anyway, Google Messages brings RCS to Android phones. This turns basically a linear, like, you can't really reply to messages, individual messages, how just regular SMS, to a more chat-like experience that's online with what's it called, Slack or Discord, which I believe is just Discord in dark mode. Okay, so you got reactions, you can reply specific messages, and it's in text form, though it does work over the internet. So your messages are passing encrypted, I believe, through RCS servers right now run by Google. However, Google, they used to have a RCS version of Samsung Messages, and I'd happily use that. But Google and Samsung have like some type of agreement, and Google Messages is preloaded on, but I think Samsung Messages is still on there so that you can get like Bixby to work through it or something. But the problem is that I don't text enough Android users for the chat experience to be so bad. right? Like you get great AI features like voice message transcription and auto delete of one-time passwords. That's great. And you also get good spam protection, which prevents you from smishing, which is basically like phishing attacks, but SMS based. However, the customization features are just bad. Okay, Samsung messages. You can change the color of your chat. You can assign a notification sound to specific messages, group messages with tabs at the top of the screen, and pin messages to the top of the screen, right? Google Messages, you can't change the way your chat room looks. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show it on screen here. You can essentially change the color of your chat room individually, okay? So I guess if you, let's say you're texting your friend and their favorite color is like purple or something, you could change it so that they like, so that on your side it looks like it's the color purple. So I'm going to text myself like the takeaway number. There we go. So hopefully you can see this on the screen. We're gonna need to invest in an overhead camera soon. Um, Here I am texting like the tech boy, right? Hi. There we go. Right? It looks normal. You got the red text here. It's just basically a white background on Samsung keyboard. Look, I just got a notification coming in. But what you can do is you can set a notification sound, which I couldn't figure out. Like, see how you can do it in Google Messages, which is this is really basic feature. But customized chat room basically allows you can either apply to all chat rooms or some chat rooms, and you can choose a color. So I'm going to choose like orange for the tech boy. You can choose the bubble opacity. Bubble opacity would mean like the words. So I can make it look like there's no bubble around the words and it's just the text. And then you can choose the text contrast, like white on white, black on yellow, white on yellow, etc. And then you can wait. I don't want to apply to all chat rooms. Oh, it looks like you can apply to all chat rooms, right? And you can also only all chat rooms, but still, it's still a good customization, right? And then you can choose an image that you want to customize it to. So there's a thing you can crop in what you want to customize it based on. Click done, and that's what it will look like. And then apply to all chat rooms. So there's a lot more customization settings. You can set your own notification sound, and you can choose a category for it to go in. So you can choose like friends, family, cousin, business, work, etc. Or you can make your own categories by clicking the plus thing, and it will give you some auto suggestions. So the suggestion it gave me is deliveries, because sometimes we get like text messages based on deliveries, promotions, one-time password services, or you can click create manually, type in your own name and then add it in, right? And of course you can group that via tabs, and now my thing's customized. So if you want to uncustomize it, what you do is you click customize chat room, and then reset to default look. There we go. And you can choose to have notifications, pins, etc. So I'm going to fix this because I said a specific chat because you used to, I believe. But I guess they changed it because no one was using it so much. So I'm going to add an update to the article. Oh man, we're getting pretty good traffic on news ticker article. 27 views according to Blogspot, which isn't always right, but still okay. And you can change the color of all. Okay, and then I'm updated 10, 21, 22. Okay. Anyway, it should be updated now. But the problem is, like, these features, like the customization features, they aren't in Samsung like they're not in Google Messages, and that's not good, right? And RCS, I don't text Android users enough who have RCS turned on or would benefit from RCS. Like my parents both use Android devices, right? But most of the texting would be just like reminders, alerts, etc. And the RCS doesn't really do anything. Yes, it would increase the security, but you have to have RCS enabled on both phones, and there's not much like security in like short, small little messages, right? That would matter anyway. Um, there's no grouping, no pinning messages, and if I'm mainly texting iPhone telling kids, Team 13 means 13% of Gen Zs in the United States only use Android phones. If I'm only texting iOS kids, they don't really benefit from RCS, but I benefit from the customization. So this, it doesn't make sense for me to use Google Messages unless it fixes itself. But not to be outdone, Samsung needs to get better too. Not Samsung Messages. It's not their fault that they don't have RCS. Google needs to open source that, even though Samsung appears to be playing along with Google, which they need to stop. I want to show you this thing on the screen. This is Samsung's RCS ad from 952 Mac. I want to play with 952 Mac. So Samsung's pressuring Apple to support RCS, which, Samsung support RCS in its own messaging application. It's arguably better. It is better than Google Messages. You can click this. Samsung Messages is unequivocally better than Google Messages. Okay? Here's the ad. Where is it? I can't see it. According to they say it's a here it is. They say it's a screen recording. They say that the budget for the ad was $3 here. So let's see what we have here. This is in Samsung Messages. Samsung Messages doesn't have RCS enabled. So I don't know what they're texting on this phone, and there's plenty that they need to be fixed. Samsung's voice transcription, absolutely garbage. Okay, they need to fix that. Okay, like it's offline, but that is not worth the terribleness compared to Google's voice transcription. But let's just watch the ad here. Here we go. Who types that fast, by the way? But they could have sped it up. Also, perfect, impeccable grammar and texting. I applaud Samsung here. Really good. That's it. Goodness, I could have made a better ad, and by made a better ad, I mean like I've recorded better videos that didn't get published. Anyway, speaking of Samsung needing to get better, we need to talk about Bixby. Okay, I have been one of Bixby's leading defenders, right? Samsung, the leading Android phone manufacturer, has its own virtual assistant. I have told you guys on multiple occasions that you're using it wrong. It's a task-based assistant, right? It's for device control, right? And Google Assistant excels in handling general queries. However, Bixby is sluggish. Okay, if I instruct it to text dad, it's gonna wait, and sometimes might get it wrong. And then it's going to ask me what message I wanted to say, even though I already told them what message I wanted to send in. Then I have to verify with the click or voice command. Here's what Samsung needs to do. They need to keep investing in Bixby, but they need to make its voice recognition accuracy, both on Samsung keyboard and Bixby, a lot better with the online or offline, especially offline, because I believe that all phones should be able to do lots of things offline, right? So Freedom GPT, on Windows computers is offline AI. I believe that we still have offline AI coming to Samsung phones. I believe you can edit stuff, you can film stuff. You got all these pro features. You have all powerful chips. You used to be able to do most of your work offline. Okay, which makes things faster and more private, right? Because it's faster because you don't have to connect to the server. Wait, see if the server's down or up. If it has too many people using it at the same time. Offline means it's you and your phone. Basically, the Tensor, the Snapdragon, the M1 or Apple A series chip doing the work by itself. And what they need to do, like I'm saying, they need to optimize the speed for leveling your phone's processing power, which is more than enough for what it needs to do. It's just like a simple English voice command, right? I mean, some cars from 2010 can process voice commands instead of relying on remote servers, except when necessary. Like if I ask it for a definition of word, use the phone's built-in dictionary. If I ask it for like who won the game, then obviously you're gonna have to tell me who won it using the internet, right? But if I wanted to like search through pictures and do like more complex on-device tasks, I expect it to work offline and especially integrate really well with Samsung's own services: Samsung Email, Samsung Photos, Samsung Keyboard, and of course Samsung Messaging and Google Messaging because they mix together, and of course Samsung's own Dialog application. Speaking of Dialog applications, I need to show you this new. Well, I don't know how new it is, but it's an application called Dialog. It's completely open source. Um, and no, it's not the rotary Dialog application I showed, in which I proved that I can, use a rotary phone. Oh, here it is. It's called Dialog. Okay, it's the most basic looking icon you've ever seen in your life, but it's useful, right? There it is. It's just an orange icon of a phone. Nothing special. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close all my applications and then I'm going to open Dialog. So there's all. With one thing that strikes me about iPhones, like why don't they have a close all button? Because it's hard for another time. There you go. We have Dialog open here. What you're going to do is you just like click set it as a default, whatever. But this application is really good. I'm not like endorsing it or anything like to become your full-time dialer. But the reason this is so good is because unlike Samsung dialer, this allows you to dial and call a number when in um, when you're pinning an app. So what you do to pin app is just click this and then you click pin this app. This essentially allows you to keep an app open, but only that app open. It basically turns your phone into a miniature kiosk of such, right? So if someone ever asks you, "Hey, can I call a phone?" They want me to search and withdraw your messages and everything. You can just like keep the dialer open, right? Like if I try to go home, it doesn't work, right? You need your password to get back in. All you have to do is click the back and recent button, hold it down, and then you'll get to the lock screen, put your password in. Right? It has, of course, it does allow the people to access your contacts, so that's not ideal. But I mean, it's better than handing your phone unsecured to some random person. And it has like regular dialer features, like you can search by, like, so on Samsung phones, you can search T9 texting. So if I say TheTechBoy, that would be THE, right? So T9, that would be 8, what's H? 4, 3, right? And then you'll get the Tech Boy's name to come up. So I'm going to click my contact, right? And as you can see on the screen, it is dialing the Tech Boy number. Let me turn up the volume so you can hear. Okay, hopefully you can hear that. And I'm going to go check to see if it's working. Remember, this is all, So it's calling the Tech Boy, right? I don't get any notifications on the screen here. It's getting one thing. Let's see if it's noticing that I'm getting a call.
Thank you for calling the Tech.
Okay, it went to. Boom. Here we go. Oh, I'm not going to show. So as you can see here, we have an incoming call on the screen. So hopefully you can see the screen. Boom, it's detecting as an incoming call, proving that this method works, right? So we had an incoming call coming from my number, and you can easily just give this to someone and they'll be able to dial the number without having to be able to see your entire phone. So it's called Dialu. It's a completely free and open source application, which I know some of you may care about, right? I'm going to pull up its listing in the Play Store. Okay. But I still use Samsung because it's like more feature rich. But if I just need this, I can hand it over to someone. And it's there, right? It's simple dialer, right? From simple mobile tools. That's what it's called. So hopefully you can see the tab on the screen. It's simple dialer from simple mobile tools, easy to install, 4 stars, 1 million downloads, and this is what it looks like, right? It's just like, regular old Android dialer. There's simple SMS messenger, simple flashlight, have lots of tools, right? Um, and yeah, it's really good to see options like this on the market. And if you want to keep it, for more privacy reasons, then yeah, I'd say go for it. Now we need to talk about statistics, okay? I polled some kids because, as you guys know, I'm a devout Adventures in Odyssey fan. Not getting, pretty good. I polled some kids about on some questions, right? And I found that this episode slumber parties, partially accurate. Only one person said that someone had attempted to sneak into the sleepover. So I found that interesting. One of like 17 that I asked, and it was about 50% accurate. People saying, "Oh yeah," sometimes they talk about people at sleepovers. Sometimes they talk about who they like at sleepovers, etc., etc. But they've never attempted to cook pizza on a light bulb or anything like that, which I find comforting given the state of Gen Z. Anyway, another thing that I found was polling about was in last week's episode. I was asking kids what they would do if someone locked them in an escape room. In fact, let me tell you for them. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. This video was recorded a few days ago, but I asked some more kids, so the statistics might be a bit off. I have like an updated list here of my TI. Oh, the statistics went up. Okay. Well, about 50% of kids said that they would allow that their parents would allow them. 8 out of 17. That's 47%. We were hovering around 40% last at the time of this short that was recorded. Would allow them to go if they could walk to a friend's house, walk there all by themselves. And this is why this question is important. Oh wait, for some reason comments are disabled. Weirdos. Okay. I'm going to share my tab. Hopefully you can see this on the screen. Look, it's me. Hello, Odyssey fans. So if someone locked you in an escape room and made you think that you were going to die, and then you got escaped and you later teamed up on a detective case, you found out that the detective case was a setup and that the person who locked you in an escape room was going to be embarrassed and shown as a thief, of course being fake. Would you help the kid and stop the live stream because it's being live streamed to the school, or would you let them be embarrassed in front of the entire school? Right, so that's the first question. We got basically 50-50 mix. Some kids say, oh, pray for them, leave them there. Some kids say, I'd save them. And some kids are like, hey, they deserve it. They get embarrassed, right? But the more interesting question, in my opinion, and of course I pose this question to you viewers as well. Oh, no. Yes, okay. Chat works, okay. I asked this question to some kids at school today, and they were like, I might pray for them. Or some of them were like, I let them get embarrassed. Some of them were like, oh, I'd save them. And I couldn't count. The vote is 6-4. 6 kids say that they can't go to a friend's house without paying into it. Yeah, and 4 said that they could, basically having around 40%. Now, at last count, it is 8-17. Okay, so 8 out of every 17 children, or about 47% of children, say that they could go to a friend's house without parental consent or knowledge, which is I found very interesting. Which means Adventures in Odyssey is basically appealing to about 50% of the demographic, in terms of realism, which is good, right? So in that episode, now we were polling really low at some point, in which like only one kid would be allowed. But in that episode that I was talking about, there's like 2 kids at someone else's house, Suzu and Emily, and of course someone else's house, and like one of her friends come over. So it's more like 3 kids at someone else's house, which means like and parents aren't really mentioned. It's her dad's not home or something like that, right? So realistically, I guess we'd have to have like two kids would have to ask, and 2 kids wouldn't have to ask, right? With the 50% gain. But it's better than expected. It makes sense though. But speaking of making sense, we have to talk about today's Downloaded Lane episode from Keys for Kids, which happy birthday to them. keysforkids.org. Now, I believe this episode was recorded in like 2000, right? So they have some like Russian girl come here, and we're gonna assume she's like 16, right? And I believe communism fell in Russia in like 91. So it is kind of weird. Yeah, we had our Odyssey predicting the future video. That was a good one. Okay, I'm just gonna like edit this stream to make sure that we can still get comments if people, want to come on. There you go. So I'm gonna just play like a few clips from Keys for Kids Radio, with big thanks to them for interviewing me. January. There we go. And of course, happy 34th birthday to them. I wonder what open mic is. Looks good. Okay. So we're gonna play some of this. I'm gonna like fast forward to some, because obviously this isn't we don't pirate stuff. So I'm gonna good teach you.
Going to study the different planets and many other things in the universe.
Like asteroids? So your parents are getting another kid now, Maya?
No, Mike. Lana's an exchange student.
Okay, so here we go. This kid is like an exchange student, and I'm just gonna play like this tiny clip, and I'm gonna react to it. And then don't worry, we're gonna get to the Oneplus Fold. Don't worry, guys. Oh, open.
She's only here for a couple weeks.
Why?
So she can see what America's like.
That's cool. I mean, I like America.
That's great. Good for Mikey. I like America too. That's all I have to say for that. And then of course, like Caleb has a crush on her or something. What was the thing I wanted to talk about? Oh, yes. In today's Adventures in Odyssey episode, I'm trying to remember here. And I also got to talk about the concessions to the crowd. We'll get to that. But let's talk about the church situation first. In today's Adventures in Odyssey episode and Downgated Lane episode, both kids and teenagers in TGR and teenagers in AIO. Okay, both go to church, which makes sense. This is a Christian audio drama. But they all go to the major service. Oh yeah. Now I don't know if this is like a Midwest thing. Probably not, because I went to church in Ohio one time when I was going to see the ark in like Kentucky. I was in Kentucky or Ohio. Anyway, yeah, and they had a kids youth service. So I don't understand why both churches don't have youth services. Is that like a denomination? No. What is it? AO's non-denomination. I don't know what Keys for Kids is. I don't know what it is. Anyway, but we have to talk about something way more important than that. We're gonna scroll ahead through the Keys for Kids thing. So I'm gonna click off so you don't hear too much and they say what and put that over there. Okay.
And I have faith that it's true.
Dad, but Caleb says no one was.
Oh, here we go. So Maya went to the planetarium and they said something about millions of years, and Grace is going to touch on it a little bit, and it's kind of iffy.
Really there when they created the Earth, so who really knows?
And you're having a few doubts?
No, I still believe, but I just don't think I know enough.
Well, Caleb does have a point.
He does?
Mm-hmm.
No, of course, the only reason he said none of us was there, instead of haha, God doesn't exist, is because Lana, the Russian girl, believes in God and he's trying to impress her or something.
This was there when God created the earth.
True.
But I believe that he did because he says so in the Bible.
True.
And I have faith that it's true. But we don't know exactly how he did it.
What does she mean by that? We don't know exactly how she did it. Has she never read the book of Genesis? We don't know exactly how. I don't know. Maybe he spoke. I honestly didn't know what she was talking about there. That's the only thing problem we had there. All right, let's see what's next on the list. All right, we're gonna talk about this golfing place in Houston called, let me check here, Smart Golfing Place, Houston, Texas. Is it called Golf Smart? Nope, not Golf Smart. Maybe it's called, yeah. Putt Shack Houston. Okay, Putt Shack Houston. Tech-infused mini golf experience opens downtown. I went this summer when the Astros won 17-4 against the Rays. Oh, you couldn't even see the Fox article. There you go. Putt Shack, Houston, tech infused. Got it. My little animation there. Mini golf experience opens in downtown Houston. Is this the place? Yeah, this is the place. This is the place. I remember this one. Okay. So it has these little, and I'm going to show you like real footage from the place. Sensors. That's where you put your golf ball, right? And each golf ball is your own. It's registered to your name, which is on the screen somewhere, and then like the screen up there, right? And then you see these all have different point values. At this golf place, you want to have the most amount of points possible, right? So you want to have more points. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few clips from the golf experience. Oop. So that's one of their courses here. This is the first course. No, it's not. The first one has like it goes through. So what you do is, hopefully you can see on the screen, that little thing that looks like a Wi-Fi antenna there. You put your ball there, you click it, and on this, you want to hit it, and then it's going to spin around, and you'll get points. Remember, you want to get more points. All right, let's go to the next clip. That's it. Click. And of course, the ball records how many hits it has, and you want to get holes in ones and stuff like that. Okay, so you don't want to do what he did, unless you want to lose. Then I'll add it. Okay, here you go.
Do you want to inside the green?
Yeah, here you want to hit inside the green. The red is like a hazard and you lose points. So you hit inside the green, it takes you to an easier hole over here, over there, which makes it easier to get inside the hole, right? This, I think it gives you, according to them, a 95% chance of getting a hole in one. There it is. Oh. Boom, there it is. That like hole right there, that's where you're trying to get them. And then depending on if you got red or black, sorry, not red or black, green or red, it comes out through there. Right, next clip. This is what the place looks like. So you go upstairs, you start in. It's like a really nice place. And yeah, okay. And then 2 more clips. There's another like shot of the stairs. And 1 more. This is what the place looks like from the inside. So you have like the eating area over there, and rewinding back, you can see the entire golf course. So that's like number 2. And actually the golf course, if you can look at the top, I don't know if you can zoom in on the stream, but the golf balls are delivered via pipe system. So they're like sucked up pipe, it's kind of like those bank, when you go to the bank and you put money in and get a check and they go through the pipes. That's how you get your golf balls. So yeah, that is what you call Putt Shack, Houston, Texas. And just reading through the article, here's some more pictures of the place. You have like more domed things, and you also have like, hit the star in like so. Pretty tech friendly, thing there. Sometimes the scoring would be off and they'd fix it for you. Sometimes there'd be glitches because it's more high tech, but it's a really interesting way to look at golf. But do you know what's more interesting than looking at the way of golf? Looking at the game of golf, it's looking at the game of smartphones. The game of smartphones is, kind of stagnant, but not like too bad, right? So we're going to look at Mr. Who's the Boss. This is my first time watching this video. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a short. Okay. This is my first time watching this video. I used to like to watch him before, and of course, he only has, 656,910 subscribers to beat Apple. So, that's that. I only have like 2 million to be at 2 million. Anyway, let's see how we can beat Apple. Right? He calls this the best foldable phone ever. So I'm gonna copy the link address and then I'm gonna put in here and then mute it because we all know that cussing is a sin. We're not gonna have this on the show. The people who may be listening and try to argue that cussing is not a sin. Anyway, I'm gonna open my transcript here, and for some reason the transcript. I want to show you this. Like, this is an easy way to like read YouTube videos. You click show transcript and it moves to the description for some reason. That's like dumb. Anyway, there you go. You can see a transcript. Now I'm gonna go back to the regular video and I'm gonna like show here. So I'm just gonna search for bad words. Oops. Okay. All right, so I can search for it. There we go. Boom. So I know where to skip. And I'm gonna put in theater mode.
This is the OnePlus Open. It's the first.
Was already. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, let's see if you have any comments. No? Okay. This is pretty loud video. Pretty good cinematography though. And we got a triple camera here with the periscope zoom.
Ever OnePlus Foldable. And honestly, the first OnePlus product in the last 5 years that's really impressed me.
The one thing I don't like is, why didn't you include wireless charging? I know people are going to be like, they didn't have to. Yes, they did. It's $1,700, $1,400, depending on how you trade in. And you have to pay the full price. At least with Samsung Galaxy Fold, love them or hate them, you can buy them in a T-Mobile or Verizon store. You can pay $50 a month on them instead of paying $1,700 just right there. Just to put it on your wireless charger and not have it? No. It's a productivity phone, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure someone's could have and would have figured out a magnetic case for the Galaxy Fold. Let's see, magnetic charging case for Galaxy Fold. Oh, there's a MagSafe case. Let's see if it's yeah. Here we have right here from Ghost Tech, not sponsored. I have no idea who they are. They have a magnetic battery charging case right there. They've been so great for a OnePlus Open, which is so good with productivity. 512 gigs of RAM, 16 gigabytes. Oh no, not 512 gigs of RAM. 512 gigs of storage, 16 gigabytes of RAM. The fastest, best chip, right? Basically has a Snapdragon chip for Galaxy in it, just not for Galaxy because it's not a Galaxy. Super thin hinge. I kind of want the phone, but no video out over USB-C. It's $1,000. Anyway. Let's just move on.
See, foldable phones,
nice, green hue.
Up until this point, for most people, including myself, haven't really made sense. You pay more money, almost double the price of a flagship, to get a phone that has a bigger screen, yes, but then is compromised in almost every other way. In terms of comfort, they're very thick when folded. In terms of cameras.
I mean, I'd actually be fine with a thick phone, It doesn't really hurt me. I mean, I guess it would be bad for surveillance, if I were to take a surveillance photo, but that's the only problem. Which I guess then you could say the Galaxy Z Fold would be better for surveillance because you can type there and then you can actually be filming, or you can stand there and film. So it's a trade-off, I guess.
As they struggle to fit good.
I guess technically a smaller phone would be better for surveillance, but then of course the smaller phones, apart from Asus, smaller phones from Samsung would probably be some random A series device from years ago or J series device, which of course would be really bad camera, which then wouldn't be good for surveillance. But you could have surveillance on it for micro SD card slots, surveillance information, take the battery out, self-destruct. Beep, beep, beep. I know a kid at school who has a removable battery on her phone, so I guess if enemy agents hacked her phone, she could take the battery out. And I guess could just hold information on it via micro SD. And this is definitely gonna get clipped.
Good ones in. You get hinge problems, you get crease problems, you get dust stuck in your screen.
Well, yeah, of course, that's terrible. But he can't really talk about how this isn't happening to OnePlus Open because A, not many people are going to buy the OnePlus Open, and B, he's only having it for 3 weeks.
Problems, there's 50 more examples of this. But this OnePlus Open is different. You can tell it's not just trying to be yet another company's take at the same thing, but actually the foldable done right.
Well, yeah, it's basically a OnePlus's take on the foldable, in my opinion. It's like, super fast specs and then like one or two missing features that would have made it epic. One or two missing features that wouldn't cost money. Okay, video out? Are you kidding me? It's $1,700. What's an extra $50 on there for video out? Give or take something. So you don't have your own desktop mode. Use Android's desktop mode, or develop your own app for it later. This could benefit like more people. Okay, maybe make like a paid app to enable like OnePlus desktop mode or something like that. Have external developers make their own desktop modes, because there's already like apps that can make desktop modes for make Android's desktop mode better. Okay, that's unacceptable. Oh, no wireless charging? Also unacceptable, in my opinion. Like, it's $1,700. I mean, this thing should have an IR blast and a micro SD card slot. And that's one of those. Not a micro SD card slot. It has an IR blaster though. That is nice. Which, good for changing channels on TV. I guess you could just walk to an airport and, well, you can figure out the rest. I'm not going to actually tell you what to do. Wired got kicked out of some event for doing that. No, not Wired. What do they call? IR blaster kicked out of some trade show. Kicked out. Who got kicked out of the trade show? Kicked out of trade show for TVs. $2,008. Oops. Who was kicked out? For some, I'm pretty sure we canceled them. Like they canceled the Verge thing. What does this have to do with? Who got kicked out of the trade shows for turning off TVs with it wasn't on the phone. This is 2008. Was it Wired? They're like that really annoying thing. They're like that really annoying magazine. If you guys know, put it in the comments. All right, back to the thing. I'm gonna think about this. Okay, back to the video.
Paying attention to all of the pain points you normally get and actually trying to fix them. So let's talk about it. The unboxing is a good start. You get everything you need with it, which shouldn't be a surprise for a $1,699 phone, but that's just where we are right now.
Yeah, I know. It comes to the charger, for goodness sake. Thank you, OnePlus, for not talking about, for having your intro back. We made this out of plaster instead of leather, which saves the environment in carbon emissions by 0.1%. It keeps one cow from dying. And this charger, we're shipping extra for $30. It cuts global carbon emissions by 0.025%, thus saving the world and humanity from doom and a flood and dying, or climate change, or whatever. Thank you, OnePlus.
The phone's on top, and that is a proper.
Interesting. They have it unfolded. I also like the camera all the way off to the side. Fun fact: cameras have always been off to the side. Well, not all, not that side, but the other side. That's my S5 active. Not active. What is active? What is this? Well, this phone doesn't even have a front-facing camera. Come on, what's the S5 in it? Yeah, okay, we'll be getting it, but I want to do it like a little demonstration. Like this. Oh, there it is. Space Ghost. Okay. As you can see here, we have the Galaxy S5 Sport. S5 Sport. See, it even says Sport on the back. Right? The battery comes off. So I guess this is good for spying on people. Besides, you can like use that as a weapon, self-defense. Anyway, as you can see, hopefully you can see on the screen, the camera's actually right there, like all the way off to the side. It's only because we eliminated the bezel and you put the hole around it that people got like upset. The camera's always been off to like one side or the other, right? We've only kind of like recently started putting them at the center because I guess this aesthetic wouldn't look good with the camera all the way over there, even though it probably messed up less videos. Okay, pop-up camera, it's terrible because the hinge construction of this is like good, but pop-up camera, you have like more moving parts, like just a literal mode on your phone. Oops. What was that? I was trying to switch tabs. There you go. That kind of looks like that, what's it called? Like the glow light on.
So, camera crater. You get a 67-watt fast charger.
Which is, better than Samsung's fast charger, 45 watts, which my phone can charge at.
It is starting to feel a little dated that it's a traditional USB-A plug and not USB-C, though.
Yeah, who cares? Like, it's fine. Besides, that means you get like a traditional USB-C cable, which means you can easily plug into like less modern computers.
And then,
Still, I guess that's better to have a Mac.
in a second really heavy box, there's a case included for both the back and the front.
That's nice of them. A case included, instead of like selling it and be like, we're saving the environment.
It's nothing crazy fancy, but it is all.
Right, like I don't care. Like it comes with the phone. I'm not gonna buy a new case. Just like I bought like some random cheap $3 case and it got bit. It got eaten. Okay.
The protection that 90% of people are going to need. And then inside, a cable, classic OnePlus Red, and then welcome, membership card, quick guide, and then a safety guide.
I'm just like half of that. I mean, honestly, that's the only thing that I care that you can eliminate using the environment. Like, okay, half of that, like not the stickers, maybe not the membership guide. I don't know, maybe you need like a QR code or something. Like half of that, like the safety manual could be included on the phone.
Why is the safety guide like 60 pages?
Dang. It's probably for legal reasons, like don't put your finger in between the thing to and it will crash.
What is this, like 1995? And then a SIM eject tool.
Nice. What's it look like? Kind of looks like a swordfish, in my opinion.
Ooh, time for the big peel.
Do you think I'll get one for Christmas?
Now, this hasn't been one of those experiences where I've had to dig to find the differences. Well, it's
Really? Looks like a standard, typical folding phone with the cooking stove thing on the back.
still looks and feels familiar if you've seen a phone.
All right, let's see what applications we got here. Okay, we got the dock here. This kind of looks like Mac OS in my opinion. All right, let's see here. Okay, we got Duolingo, Notion. Oh, we got Picture This. Yes. LinkedIn, Instagram, Prime Video. Is that Kitra? Looks like it says KGP. Let's up the quality. Okay, 1080p. Oh, it is Kitra. Okay. McDonald's Yazio. I have no idea what that is. YAZIO. Oh, it's like a healthy eating weight loss application. Okay, Google Meet, which I'm pretty sure is like the new Meet, which is, and then we got the Google applications in here. TikTok, Spotify, Netflix, YT Music, which honestly, all right, I'm gonna talk about YT Music right now. The podcast player is so bad. I like played my podcast on YT Music, right? It's fine. You can see everything, right? You can't really comment on it because it's supposed to be like a little podcast player. That's great. But unless you pay for premium, you can't exit out of the app. Who listens to podcasts like that? I might as well just go listen to the podcast on regular YouTube and then play it in picture, which means I can leave the app. Anyway, back to the thing.
Foldable before. The improvement.
This the new editing that he's been talking about. I can see it. Like he's doing more like slow motion around things. This is a new font. Maybe they updated the libraries on Final Cut.
To the foldable formula are really obvious.
And also the theming of everything. It's really good. Like he has green around it. See, he got the glass model. Mr. Mobile got the pleather model. And he really liked that.
Yes. The first thing you'll notice is how slim and light it is, mostly thanks to new materials in the body like titanium instead of steel.
Okay. This is like what one bad word comes in.
What? Hell no.
Oh, how did we miss? Okay.
But is it close enough to feeling like a normal phone that you could just maybe forget? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
I'd say so.
Oh no, I wouldn't want to like, forget it. Somewhere. That's like leaving a gold brick behind with you.
To give you some idea, this foldable with an 8-inch screen on the inside.
Oh, 8 inches. That's bigger than Samsung.
Is actually the same weight as an iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Yeah. Well, actually, I heard it's like a gram. Oh, here's the glass model. The pleather model is like a gram lighter.
Which I have carried around for a year with no problems.
Well, like, didn't 2 videos ago you talked about how he's like dropping it on his face? It was too big for him, blah, blah, blah.
But that is not.
Oh, I got to go hands-on with an iPhone 15 and it can Pro Max. It has 25 times zoom, I got to play with the camera.
The only interesting thing going on here, the hinge. The hinge on foldable phones is.
Oh no, I forgot to see. Oh man, I forgot to push the action button. I'll ask her if I can push it. She'll probably let me.
Both one of the biggest opportunities and potential vulnerabilities. And I'm just going to say it right now. This is the best hinge I've ever seen. It's very smooth. The zero.
Yeah. Like 2 students at my school have iPhone 15s, so I guess they can like form their own little USB-C club, a charging club. They can connect their phone to each other.
Zero friction, but
too bad it doesn't have this wireless charging. They'll be getting that in like 5 years.
At the same time, at any point in the opening process, if you want to stop, you stop.
Nice.
And then according to Oneplus, it's also a lot.
Is that a scratch? That must
more durable than any other hinge before.
I heard that from Mr. Mobile that the like review units, like one of them, he took it outside and the lenses started fogging up. So
thanks to being made from.
But he said that only happened once. So that's
no joke, exactly 69 parts, as opposed to most hinges which have over 100, and so they're saying are almost over-engineered. There's more. The hinge makes for a basically.
I mean, it could also be under-engineered. I'm not sure. Because, like, I mean, if you think about it, if you take a stick and snap it in half a little bit, you have a hinge. But I wouldn't put that on a folding phone. Why do I talk to myself too much? Because it's a podcast. But I have about 2 hours to fill. I have to, keep talking. But thanks for dropping in.
Gapless design all the way around when it's closed, which keeps dust and other substances out. But what's also kind of cool is that they've managed to do that while the hinge protrude outwards and while also giving the screen enough space to rest when folded, such that it's not being pinched, and so when you unfold it, there is very minimal crease. I've used a lot of foldable phones at this point, and in most cases, the crease is just one of those side characters.
Oh yeah. One thing I never heard anything. I watched like lots of reviews. I never heard anything about the biometrics. Where is it? Is it on the side of the phone? Or is it in display?
That you really dislike at the start, and then you just kind of.
Vivo. I think Vivo has 2 fingerprint scanners, one inside and one outside. Genius.
Have to get used to always being around. But here, what you have is a screen with traces of a crease. It's minimal enough that if you.
I like that wallpaper. It's really good. Speaking of like tablets and batteries, Samsung released like some. We're going to talk about this M05 4G in India or something. It's a 5,000 milliamp battery with 12 gigabytes of RAM. It's 6 gigs of RAM plus 6 gigs of like fake RAM. I'm sorry for the bullying. Oh, it's okay. I'm just joking. And give me good reply and show me up. You're a polite kid and raise your. Oh, thanks. That's a very nice comment. Off. Anyway, the Galaxy Tab A and that phone have basically the exact same battery capacity. Like I was ordering some tablets for like Square and event registrations, so you need to be like super powerful. But how can Samsung tablet, it's 8 inches, 8-inch screen, have a 5,000 milliamp battery, right? And of course, I understand how folding phones can have it because it expects you to be on like 50-50. And the Samsung phone from like a few years later, like budget phone, have a 5,000 milliamp battery. That doesn't make much sense to me, but okay, moving on. Oh, and of course, if you want to support the channel and the work that we're doing here, you can always go to buymeacoffee.com/TheTechBoy/ORG. Back to the strip.
If you choose to see it, you'll see it. But if you choose to ignore it, you absolutely can.
Wow. I mean, that's like the same with anything. If you choose to see something, you'll see it. If you truly one of the words of our generation.
And you're left with what genuinely does.
Like, oh, look, I'm just going to pretend I don't see that phone. Look, it's not there.
Feel like a mini tablet on the inside. But the best bit, and the thing that really helps to sell this feeling, is this.
Yeah, if I had the privilege of owning a OnePlus Open, I would not be going. Though I do wonder, like, if I always wanted, like, how, like, in like a book reading application, say Kindle, you open, close, and that like simulates flipping the page of a book. Oh, A, would you like a OnePlus Open? Oh, it looks like A left. Oh.
The way that most foldables open is very gradually with a consistent amount of resistance until you basically decide, okay, this seems fully open, I'll stop pushing now, which would probably be the way to do it.
Oh, we talk about like how it feels good, but the Pixel Fold only opens 179 degrees. And
if you sometimes use a foldable like this, sometimes like this, sometimes like this. But if we're being very honest, 95% of the time you use your foldable, really you're going to be in this position or you're going to be in this position.
Mr. Mobile always types on his. Maybe it's a video stunt, maybe it's real, I don't know.
And that is why I really love the fact that this phone snaps into both of those positions. It's satisfying. It leaves no shadow of a doubt that you are in the fully open or fully closed position. And I suppose
you can simulate that with software.
Consciously, it also helps that feeling of distinction. Like, okay, I'm in phone mode.
I guess, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know about you guys, but I can discern between a roughly 6x3 inch screen and a 8x 8x6, 8x6, yeah, 8x6 because it's the same height. I'm pretty sure I can discern between a 6x8 and a 6x3 without having to hear that.
Now I'm in tablet mode. That's how I would make a foldable. There's also an alert slider, which used to be a classic OnePlus feature. They ditched it for a while, and now it's finally back. So that's exciting. I mean, it's fine. It does what an alert slider does, but it did need to be about 5 centimeters lower for
5 centimeters. For our American visitors here, centimeters about, no, an inch is 2.54 centimeters, so 5 centimeters would be about 1.75 inches. Let's see if I'm right. Okay. So that being 5 divided by 2.54. 1.96. 1.96 inches, so about 2 inches tall.
Me to actually realistically reach it. There's IPX4.
Hey, at least I know what a centimeter is. Okay, that is basically better than something.
Water resistance, which is good for splashes.
Why? Just why? Why would anyone do that to a poor innocent little phone?
The point I was going to make, though, is that it's not rated.
He just changed the suit, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
The point I was going to make, though, is that it's not rated for full-on immersion like Samsung's.
That's great. You know, I always take my $1,700 folding phones to the beach and swim with them. Okay, I still need to. Who got kicked out of a trade show? Trade shows. Anyways.
Foldables are. And then the camera, which for some people I've showed this to, is massively annoying and intrusive.
I mean, sure.
But for me, it's been okay. My fingers just kind of rest around it. And because it's at least centered and symmetrical, I found that it's got some but minimal wobble when I'm using it on my desk. So overall, the design is great. But design alone is not going to fix foldables. One of the biggest questions I and many people have is, how do you actually use the extra space you have in a way that actually makes this better than a normal phone? And the software on the OnePlus Open, I would say, is the most convincing answer to that question that I've ever seen. So the screen is this big, right? Well, think of it like it's actually...
There it is. Gizmodo is the company that I was trying to talk about. They got kicked out of a trade show. And they're also very annoying, and I have been boycotting them. So that's probably why I forgot them. Gizmodo show TV. Kicked out. I think it was Gizmodo. There it is, yeah. Gizmodo CES Prank. Yeah, that's what it was. They went around and turned off all the TVs using something for IR Blast. Does the Flipper Zero have an IR Blast too? I'm pretty sure you could add one. Oh, Flipper Zero does have infrared capabilities.
This big, meaning that while of course you can open an app and have it exist here, and then you can open another app and have it exist here, you can now also open an app and have it exist here. The apps will automatically open to whatever ratio makes the most sense for them, and not necessarily just what will fit your screen. And when you open a new one, it will just occupy a new area,
I like that animation,
and not
right
necessarily just what will fit your screen. And when you open
that right there, that app picker. Oh wait, that reminds me exactly of Samsung Galaxy's Edge app picker. Honestly, so all you have to do is, okay, let me unlock my phone first. I use this all the time. What you do is you like swipe over on the Edge panel, and I'm gonna make this big. You click this here. You can see all your apps. So I'm gonna open like a light motion. You can regularly open it, or I'm pretty sure you can drag like the center. What happened? There you go. Let's open the Bible app. Boom, center, split screen. Boom, boom. And of course, tapping it would open it in full screen. All right, back to the phones. Let's open this up.
in a new one, it will just occupy a new area within this bigger virtual canvas. And the first time that I saw this, I just sat there nodding my head like, yes. A sudden moment of course.
That's his favorite word. I was like, yes.
This is how you get around the fact that you have a square display when most apps are designed for rectangles. This is how you make this bigger screen actually feel tangibly more useful. And
those animations, oh my goodness, that looks like such a perfect phone. I don't know if I could ever leave Samsung. I was thinking about getting a smart tag, but those don't work with other devices, unfortunately.
This is how you multitask in a way that doesn't
look like multitasking, but okay.
Feel so formal and restrictive. And
what's wrong with formality on a phone?
it's all assisted by this dock, which is your fixed apps that you set in the middle, your recent apps on the right, and then on the left, an app drawer. And the best bit, a recent files folder. So a combination of stuff like photos you've just taken and zip files you've just downloaded. And you don't really need to think about this dock. It's normal size when you're on the home screen, and then whenever you open an app, it just shrinks.
That's what it looks like on tablets too. Speaking of, those tablets we ordered were so laggy. Oh my goodness.
Down, just about still being useful without being an eyesore. And then if you've got a ton happening at once and you just want to get rid of it, you hold down and it goes. Now, if you're not coming from a foldable phone, there is still absolutely a learning curve here. But then when you get going...
It looks like most of the stuff, like Samsung could do, like the Edge app thing. I basically have that whole, like the taskbar, but basically with the navigation bars, I do. So I wouldn't say it's that big of a learning curve if you're a power user. Normally, if you're a regular user switching over, I'd say yes, it is a little bit. Let's see if you have any comments. No? Okay.
no foldable has ever made as much sense to me as this one right here. So here's an example use case from a couple of days ago. I was playing a game, and in that game, there's a bit of a wait time between rounds. So I thought, I'm going to use this time to find a new wallpaper. So 2 fingers swiping down the middle will split the app and
I do like these gestures.
allow you to click on a different one to open alongside it. So I was playing the game while browsing for wallpapers until I found the perfect one that I was going to use. But then I thought, well, actually, I like the style of the wallpaper, but what would be even cooler is if I matched the color of that wallpaper to the color of this phone. So 1 tap on this dock, scroll to the recolor app, drag that into the fray, and now we've got all 3 apps open at once. And if I want to transfer the wallpaper to that recolor app, I literally just drop it in and we're away, editing. It all felt...
It looks like really... I should look into the app. You know, I actually have, on Microsoft Launcher, has this really nice feature. Like, you know how you have like 4 or 5 applications that are always at the bottom of your screen? Well, if you just swipe up, I'm putting my password here. If you just swipe up here, you have this dock here. You can even put folders here. So I put my photo editing applications or video editing applications here, but I have a folder full of photo editing applications. There it is. It's called photography. There it is. And you can, I should add that app. What's it called? Recolor to that arsenal.
very seamless. But how is it possible? Partly the high-end Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset, partly...
I just hope it doesn't get hot and sometimes lag like my phone does. Like, even though this phone is insanely powerful, God, sometimes my phone gets hot. Sometimes, you know, just...
The fact that you get 512 gigs of fast storage and large...
512 gigabytes, that's great. You know, that's as much as my computer has. But this is more than my computer. Mine costs $500.
Due to the 16 gigabytes of top-end RAM you get here. This thing is basically the most well-equipped phone.
Twice as much RAM as my phone has, which I think I probably need because I have 8 gigs of RAM and like yesterday I was at like 199 megabytes, something like that. I'm running out. So maybe 12 gigs of RAM would be good for my next flagship.
Hardware that money can buy. Enough to run any single app you could possibly want when focusing on it. Enough to run 3 fairly intensive applications at the same time, and then one more as a...
I wouldn't call Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube intensive applications. Although my phone acts like it can be sometimes. Because when it's playing picture-in-picture and it's like 95 degrees outside.
Floating window. And then if you're only doing light work, enough to keep literally 40 apps open in the background at any one time.
That's normal. I've had 40 apps and okay.
So almost nothing needs to reload when you open it later on.
That's
and
good.
In my testing, it's also able to do this while keeping cool, thanks in part to a sheet of ultra-conductive graphene going across the body, which is not just good at getting heat from inside to the outside, but also heat from one side of the body to the other. It spreads it so that if one part of your phone gets really hot, it's effectively diluting that heat across the entire width of your phone, so it's less hot. Now, 3 pretty major caveats to this. 1, if you're someone who even with this capability is still just going to be using one app at a time, which, let's be honest, is probably still most people, then I don't think this
Most
is
people won't be buying this phone.
any more the phone for you as any other foldable. You'd be missing out on a lot of what's different about it. 2, that even with all of this power here, while it is very smooth when focusing on one thing, as soon as you start to juggle, the lag can creep in, which I imagine is partly because it's really stretching the capability of what a phone chip is designed to do, but also partly that there's a lot of new stuff here and it needs optimizing on Oneplus's end. And then 3, speaking of optimizing, in its current state, this is pretty buggy. Stuff like this, it happens often. I
would not like that. That would be bad. Oh, I like how you can basically flip where you want the camera to be. It can be here or flip over there.
imagine it's because what OnePlus is allowing you to do is so wide open and freeform that it's very easy to run into situations that haven't been accounted for. I get it, but then...
Do not go to fatletters.com. Do not take our historically low offer. 2 for 24 shorts, 1 for $24.
Spend more time accounting for it. And there's also quite a lot of things on the Android end that need work, like some apps that really should be supporting this whole drag and dropping of files between them, not supporting it. But okay, that should not completely take away from the fact that there is a lot to commend here. Like the fact that OnePlus only has one model of this phone that comes with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage by default. It's very easy to create a 128 gig model with 8 gigs of RAM to make the advertised price seem way more affordable and then just incentivize upgrades. But they've just decided, no, the full foldable experience requires this amount of RAM and storage. That's the minimum amount that we're going to sell it with. And they're doing that while still undercutting the Samsung. The OnePlus Open is $1699 versus Samsung's $1799.
Yeah, but The Samsung's been on the market for a really long time, right? Really long time, I mean, like a few months. And that means you can buy it on eBay for cheaper, or a Fold 4 for cheaper, for like $800, which is basically Fold 5. Let's just check here, okay? Fold 5. Okay, we're checking eBay here. Brand new 12 gigs of RAM, factory unlocked, Fold 5, $1,599. 512 gigabytes open box. Doesn't say how much RAM. Basically $1,200. You can get a Fold 2 for less than $400. Are you kidding me? A Fold 5 AT&T, $1,100 open box. Our best offer, $900 for a Fold. Yeah, see what I mean? Like you can find like a used, gently used, maybe open box Fold for $1,000, maybe even less than $1,000. So this price advantage versus disadvantage is kind of pushed off the OnePlus. Open besides also for the Fold 5, you go into a carrier store, you'll be paying $50, $60. Let's test out. Let's see what T-Mobile says. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we pay $60 a month on top of your like cell phone bill, or maybe they'll give it to you for free. Let's see what kind of deals they're running here. OnePlus Open, you have to pay for it directly out of pocket. So this $100 thing isn't really. Besides, you get more $400. Water resistance, wireless charging, better soft. Well, I guess the software is the same, and you also get Nest Pen. Here you go. See, it says full price $1,799, right? You can get a Fold 5 or a Fold 4 for the same price from T-Mobile. That's weird. Here we go. Got a Fold 5. Let's say 512 gigabytes. So I'll probably put the price at like $200 here. If you upgrade, go away. Okay, there you go. It doesn't really matter what color you get. Why is it not telling me how much this would cost monthly? No, it should tell me how much. Oh, there it is. $33 a month for 24 months, $0 down, right? Instead of basically paying full out of pocket.
And that's for a phone that has 512 gigs of storage versus 256 and 16 gigs of RAM instead of 12. It's still.
Yeah, but of course, remember, the extra 4 gigabytes of RAM don't matter unless they get used, right? I could put 1,000 gigs of RAM on a phone and it would perform the same as a phone with 8 gigabytes of RAM if I'm only using 4 gigs of the RAM, right? And I guess the way Samsung does it, I guess technically, their phone, they could advertise some random budget phone as having 32 gigabytes of RAM if they like dedicate half the storage to RAM. It's like Samsung RAM Plus.
Oh, very expensive, but at least you're getting the best of the best hardware for that price. These foldables right now, they are far too expensive for what they are. So even though I don't think we're quite there yet, at least this is putting some downwards pressure on that price. The actual software version here is Android 13 with OnePlus's Oxygen OS 13.2 on top of it. And it's got a nice level of customization. It's not the best I've ever seen, but definitely enough to make the phone yours. And it's just generally a well-animated, nicely tactile experience. Any kind of list or web page you flip between.
It looks very well animated. Samsung One UI could do better than I am. Waiting for my One UI 6 update.
You don't just see it, you feel it. And you also can't not notice, putting aside the stability problems for a second, the core decisions being made for the day-to-day user experience, they are very focused around it just being intuitive. Like at the very start, I was struggling to reach the unlock pattern in the middle. Then I realized that these two buttons on either side, they move the user interface towards whichever hand is holding the phone. I felt like it was hard to press the power button and the volume buttons at the same time to take screenshots, but then realized that a quick swipe with 3 fingers, it does the same thing too. It does also do that whole thing where it remaps some apps when you're in the half-folded position. It's not as fleshed out as Samsung's Flex mode, but for me, there's not really a huge use case for either. The main thing this needs is polish. And the fact that OnePlus is now promising full...
I'm going to use Flex mode every day. Right? I'm going to like find a way to flex.
Full years of major Android updates is promising. It's likely that they'll iron out the bugginess, but you can't guarantee it. So at this point, overall, the OnePlus Open is doing pretty well. And we haven't even talked about its crown jewel, the cameras. The thing that OnePlus has really zeroed in on with the marketing here is that most...
Kind of weird, because usually OnePlus talks about performance and the two things they leave out are wireless charging the cameras. Like on the OnePlus 11, obviously, basically different price bracket. This might as well be an A71 to S23 Ultra. In this kind of comparison here, they didn't even include a telephoto camera, which is kind of weird.
Foldable phones have compromised cameras. Basically, you have to fit those cameras into what's effectively half the depth of a normal flagship. And do you know what? They're not wrong about that. And what they're also not wrong about is that this phone, in response to that, is basically as kitted out as it gets. This Open has a triple camera, Hasselblad branded setup consisting of a 48 megapixel main camera, 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, and 64
that's the ultra wide, not the zoom?
megapixel 3x telephoto camera. And megapixels are one thing, but these are also all large sensor cameras, like each respectively probably the biggest you can find in a foldable. And with the main camera, they're using a new pixel stacking technique that they're saying allows the phone to get in even more light than the numbers suggest. The pitch that OnePlus gave to me was basically that this is not just the best set of cameras on foldable, but that this is the best set of cameras on a smartphone. Now that's a pretty exciting prospect, and actually doubly exciting, because when you improve the cameras on a foldable, you're not just improving your rear photos, but your selfies too.
This would be really good for those news videos I was talking about. Like in my article, I said I did it for school, right? This would be really good for everyone, like, you know, to look if they have a pro mode. I hope they have a pro mode, because I connected this camera that I'm talking into, it's also a mic, to my like dongle. So then we can use it as a mic instead of having to use a phone's mic for the video I was recording. If OnePlus is a pro mode and allows USB mics to be attached, the people like watching could see themselves and make sure they're looking at the camera, not looking off to the side.
Because on the front, you also have access to all three of these cameras in full quality. And in some ways, OnePlus has delivered. The ultra-wide camera is great. In fact, I take better ultra-wide shots on
That's a really nice camera.
this than I do on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. The telephoto camera being a 64 megapixel camera means that while
That's great. I had a 64 megapixel camera. Loved it on my A71 5G. I really liked it. You can take really good night mode shots. Like you have night mode plus extra megapixel rating.
its optical zoom is only 3 times, you can actually go all the way to 6 times and still get a lossless 12 megapixel image. It still gives you that feeling of, there's something really...
Sure, but I mean, 12 is the standard, but who's to say, like, some company can be like, 1 megapixel is the standard, which would make it a lossless... Let's do the math here. So 64 would be 3. Then they cropped in like 2 times, like multiple. For 64 to 12. Maybe they cropped in 3. I'm trying to see how they get the math. So let's see, 64 divided by 12. 64 divided by 12. 5 times. I guess they cropped in like 5 times zoom. So 2 times 5. They could essentially say 3. Basically, they could essentially say it's like a 70 times zoom camera with an output of a 1 megapixel image.
Really far away. Don't worry, my phone will be able to see it.
I guess that's great, you know. I've always wanted to zoom in on some fish nuggets.
Yeah, I was really excited about my veggie fingers. Now, they do advertise this as going up to 120.
Yeah, nah. On a 3 times zoom cam? Are you kidding me? Have you seen what 3 times zoom looks like on Samsung? Samsungs? You're telling me they can get up to 120 times? Nope. No.
20x ultra res zoom. But let me tell you,
That's better than what I expected, honestly. And I'd use this feature every day of my life. All right, great. This is the best phone for spying on people. Call it. Sorry, kid, with the removable battery and SD card slot.
at 120x, this is anything but ultra res.
That's basically artwork.
It's fine that it can't do this. 120x, this is
I mean, I could sell this as like an oil painting.
anything but ultra res. And it's fine that it can't do this. No one's expecting it to. But can we please stop pretending like vast amounts of digital zoom is a selling point? The only...
Besides, I can enable that on my phone anytime I want to. Just, I think Google Camera zooms in to like 30 times, and I was able to enable that on like a OnePlus 7 Pro. I mean, sure, it looked terrible, but like, it's great.
potential exception to this is...
That's a really good... This doesn't look real. This looks like CAD. I thought this was fake. This is like, look, you got the windows correctly exposed here. You got everything here. This looks like CAD. That's great photos.
patterns. If you zoom in 120x to a pattern where the exact specifics of what you're shooting don't really matter, then the camera can do a really good job of almost drawing in the detail. That does not work for faces.
So it's inventing stuff. It's kind of like magic draws.
I've taken some awesome selfies.
Did he have the flash on or something? Why is I so big?
Selfies that just wouldn't have been possible using basically
I mean, that's great, but who cares about selfies that much?
any other phone. Just
Though I guess since they only have 4K 30 like front-facing camera footage, you could like turn it around and get proper.
from the fact that this folds. And it's all bundled together with some fairly pleasant color science, thanks to Hasselblad. The photos are a little darker than
I did like the Hasselblad like pan mode. It's like this, and it's in black and white. It looks good, you know. I could probably make that effect on my phone. Just take a picture, filter black and white, Hasselblad black and white, whatever. It's that expensive. Crop it.
I'd have liked. But generally what's good is that you're never getting faces that are like tomato.
What is that? Is this like a? He looks like he's in the military. He looks like he's like wearing pilot earphones, gaming, and like some Space Force weapon.
Red or trees so green they look radioactive. It's quite grounded in reality. It's really good at resisting being
Wouldn't a radioactive tree be dead?
overexposed on the main camera, and it sounds good. This is one of the nicest shutter experiences that I've had.
It's great. My shutter is always quiet because, like, you know, surveillance. You know, you can't have.
In recent memory. But you've probably realized where I'm going with this. I don't think it lives up to its potential.
You think?
And it's not the hardware. The hardware's
I mean, you basically grasp 120 times zoom on a 3 times. No, that is 40 times more than its official range. To be nice, that would be 20 times more than its official range if you say it has a 6 times optical zoom.
great. It's just OnePlus's camera software not being as intelligent as some of the competition. You'll notice it with portrait mode. It's not the best at chopping people's hair, for example, and it's super sensitive to movement and easy to blur if you're not still.
I guess the bad kind of blue, I guess.
To be fair, with normal photos, you have an action mode, which is the exact opposite, and actually
Yeah, I miss when Samsung used to do that in like 2015, 14 with the S5. Yeah.
really hard to blur. But it's just a shame that you can't have it all. I shouldn't have to go into an action mode to take photos that I can trust are blur-free.
Yeah, sure. I guess it should automatically detect sometimes, I guess.
And the ability to use AI to extract detail from your photos, which to me is one of the most important
Well, that's a really good, like, dynamic range of the iPhone. How this is good, and this is just looks kind of like yellow.
things, is not as good as the new iPhones by a long shot.
Yeah, but okay, shit.
And the video too is on the weaker end.
Makes
Kind of like Samsung and like Google, this phone is quite susceptible to grain in conditions that aren't really that dark. And you'll
Oh, I see the grain now. Like around the lights.
also notice, especially when recording
Meet space. That must be where he was. Let's see. Okay, maybe they have one in Houston. Let's see. Meet space. Oh, that's a video calling thing. Meet space VR. Meet Space VR, home to UK's greatest roam-free virtual reality experiences in London, Nottingham, and Birmingham. So he probably went to the one in Nottingham, that's where he lives. Fortunately, I won't be going there, unless someone wants to sponsor a trip to the UK on long school days.
on either of the front cameras, which are the default for taking selfie video, they are quite easy to overexpose. The overall message here is
I mean,
default
you can barely see anything over there.
for taking selfie video, they are quite easy to overexpose. The overall message
Wait a second, I just figured out something out. The phone's name is Oneplus Open. Okay? Oneplus Open. Let me say, yeah, so what? Look at what's on the screen. Look. Okay. Oneplus Open. I'm gonna pull up my screen here. Stop screen. Okay, here you go. This is for a clip. This is for everything. It's for a window. Why is it not? I'm gonna make a new note here. Okay. Window. Sticky note. Share. The phone's name is OnePlus Open. OnePlus Open. and you have O. Is OnePlus trying to tell us something? OPO, OPPO. I think OnePlus is telling us something. Is this an Oppo phone?
Here is that this is a good camera system. It's actually the best camera system on a foldable. It's just that OnePlus has definitely overshot with their claims, because what it definitely isn't is the best phone camera outright.
Yeah.
The one unique thing that OnePlus has is X-Pan, which produces these super wide, very cinematic looking shots. It's a fun gimmick, and it even comes with its own shooting user interface, which is meant to mimic the traditional Hasselblad experience. But really all this is doing is taking a wide shot and chopping off the top and the bottom.
Oh, that's it? All right, let me get my little X-Pan mode here. I'm gonna open camera here. I'm gonna take my own filter, and I guess you'll be seeing these just this video here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the filter, black and white. Let's see, we got grayscale, classic, and B&W. We're gonna do grayscale, okay? And okay, got my 0.6 zoom camera. I'll take my picture. Okay, now I gotta go into my gallery and edit. Okay, so I put in my password. There you go. Oh, we got a comment. No, bro, it's not consistent. Not everything is the same, means something. Don't listen. Oh yeah, of course, it's a joke. Besides, OnePlus and Oppo are like the same company, basically. You can go look that up. Yeah, now I'm cropping my my image. Yeah, so OnePlus and Oppo are basically like sister companies, so they could be trying to tell us something. You never know. Of course, I hate conspiracy theories with a passion. Like seriously, I don't have time for conspiracy theories myself. So I understand where you're coming from. Okay. And then you click save here. I'm gonna click save. And boom, we got my very own X-Pan style photo. Look. There you go. Hope you can see. And this will get shared. Oh, we're gonna use quick share. Hi Bixby. Turn on quick share.
Okay, quick share is on.
If it was the OnePlus Pro open, it maybe over. Oh yeah. Of course, that makes sense. That makes more sense. But of course, they can't make it too obvious. If they made it too obvious, then we would know. But OnePlus Pro open, that would be so. That'd be such a tell. Okay, so I'm going to open this image and I'm going to share it on screen. Okay, here you go. Come on, just preparing my image. Come on, what's taking all day? It's one little image. 41%. Any day now. You know, today would be a great day to open that image. Does my phone need to be unlocked for this? And be sure to like and share this stream to everyone that you know. Okay. So how did you discover the channel, by the way, as we're waiting for this image to load? Is it through the website? Is it through social advertising? Is it personal connection? And our image is now at 100%. And you should be seeing it on screen sometime soon. And by sometime soon, I mean, let's see, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. There we go. This is my very own X-Pan photo at 0.6 times zoom of the grayscale factor here. Very bad, no light, but we can still see the text. And one thing that I do like about this is that like screenshots, if you take a screenshot now, you can now extract text using AI, but screenshots now have OCR, so that's good. So it's just Windows key Shift S. And I'm gonna wait for A to tell me how we met him or her. Okay, here we go.
At that point, I'd rather just take a panorama and get better quality. There's not
Panoramas are good.
much to say about the displays, apart from the fact that they are
Oh yeah, it's at 2,800 nits. Almost 3,000 nits right there. The brightest display probably ever on a smartphone. Like, the only thing that I know about the Hey Bro, what state are we at? We are in Houston, Texas. Found the sign down there somewhere. But we are a proud Houston, Texas company. In fact, if you ask AI where we are based, where is the Tech Boy? No, not the Tech Guy, the Tech Boy. There it is. The Tech Boy is located in Houston, Texas, United States of America. And here's our little Google listing here, based in Houston, Texas. Here you can see here, according to our X, we are the largest tech blog, Christian tech blog, run out of by a teenager in Houston. Oh, okay. He says, I watch a lot of tech YouTubers, and you guys are friends. So you can see your friend. You can see a friend that knows a friend. Oh, okay. Well, thank you to whoever promoted me out there. You can tell him or her. Thank you. Yeah, so we are the largest Christian-run, family-friendly tech blog based in Houston, Texas. So if the Astros were playing today, we'd be checking in on the score and stuff like that. Anyway, back to the stream.
They are the creme de la creme of foldables. It bothers me slightly that the black bezel on this side is not symmetrical with the other bezels.
Yeah, sure, I guess, because the like silver thing right there. I guess you can like break it off, eat it. I don't know. Don't eat it. Whatever.
But apart from that, they've nailed the ratio of width to height. So this is a 20.
How old am I? As Alexa would say, I am as old as many times as I have been around the sun. So, I've been around the sun a specific number of times. Let's see. Do an OSINT challenge. See if you can figure it out. Get back to me next. I wonder if it's even on Google. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can figure out. Yeah, you got this. If you don't know what OSINT is, go back to some of my previous episodes. It stands for Open Source Intelligence, and I saw some tools such as ePyOS, etc. It's in like a podcast episode 2-3 episodes ago.
8:9 aspect ratio display, which is the
I like how nice and wide it is. I don't like super narrow displays.
exact same as the company's normal flagships. Both screens are super bright.
And after this, we're going to talk about, we're going to finish up with some SAT prep-ish. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can do that little tip thing I showed on the calculator, on Numworks, and on like what do you think of AI? Oh, wait, let's talk about AI. Yes. I have plenty of episodes on AI. Our most popular episodes about woke AI has 92 views from Andrews and Genesis. What's the question? What do you think of AI? Because I heard one person say it's like a bad food, tastes good, but it's bad for you, and it's not smarter than the person that created the human brain. True. All right, so in someone's stream called Gothics, I said that AI is like a gun. It can be used for good or evil, right? It's just a tool, right? And I believe that we should use AI for good, right? So AI for good would be like like designing stuff with it, building things with it, creating new technologies with it. But AI for bad would be what PETA did, which was they took ChatGPT, which is a tool in and of itself. It's not, I wouldn't say necessarily good or evil, though it does have a slight bent towards one side, which you can see in some episodes, previous episodes. I can actually link it here. This is from April of 2023. This is a like Andrews and Genesis thing. That's the episode where I talk go in depth about AI and stuff. I'm the episode of the Tech Boy Company. Yes, I am the owner. Well, I guess you could say God is the owner, but I'm the CEO. Anyway, back to AI. It is. I say it's good, right? But you can use it for bad things, like PETA. PETA decided to. I know this is gonna sound really dumb. They decided to rewrite the Bible, okay, which is it's a sin. Okay, if you didn't know that. They decided to rewrite the Bible to make it so that people didn't kill animals. They decided to rewrite the book of Genesis, which is really dumb. And I told them about that. I got mad at them. Really, really dumb. But so I think AI is good as a tool. In fact, I use AI in my blog articles a lot. Okay? AI, TheTechBoy blog. I use ChatGPT to edit my blog articles. There we go. I use ChatGPT to edit my blog articles. In fact, we can look at this right now. Boosting content creation and productivity, unleashing the power of AI with the Tech Boy. AI generated title. I used it to generate my search tags, edit some blog articles. It's in this article right here. Yeah. So here's some resources on how I feel about AI. Back to the stream. But anyway, to be succinct, I think it can be used for good or evil. I like it. I wouldn't be a fan of government regulation of it because it's basically an advanced computer program that can spit out facts based upon a trained data of things and everything like that.
Using LTPO 3.0 tech, which means they can dial their refresh rate all the way up to 120 Hz and then down to 10 Hz on the front screen and 1 Hz on the inside. They're extremely high resolution.
Of course, scrolling down to 1 Hz, and I also saw how it can get really dim. It's good for battery.
As well, the inside and outside screens have a pixel density of 431 and 426 pixels per inch, which
that's good.
I mean, Samsung's inner screen is 373, so it's very high for a screen this big.
Did you say 471?
The way they represent colors feels spot on to me, and not just at high brightness levels, which most screens are calibrated for, but even as you go dim, like watching YouTube videos at night, everything is preserved. And it also looks like OnePlus has paid some attention to longevity. There's a screen protector pre-fitted on both the inside
That's good.
and outside screens. The cover screen has a new type of more impact-resistant glass they're calling Ceramic Guard. I wonder where that name came from. But then also...
That's from Apple's Ceramic Shield.
OnePlus is saying that any wear and tear to the inner display protector within the warranty period, they'll do the repair for you, which I hope is them being generous and not them expecting there to be durability issues. But really, there is no way of knowing that till we give it 6 months. What I can say for sure right now, though, is that the battery took me off guard. The capacity is pretty unremarkable at
it's pretty good,
4,805 mAh.
It's pretty good for a normal phone, but folding, that's you got to power the tablet and the phone part. But of course, they don't expect you to use tablet all the time.
Amp hours, but OnePlus has really optimized here. Assuming you make some effort to make your battery last, you will have absolutely no problem.
I always make effort to make my battery last.
To your second day. This thing does not go down easy, with actually really fast charging too. The included charger will have you at 100% in about 40 minutes.
That's good, that's good. I think I can get to 100% at a minute and 10. I want to say maybe a minute 7. I don't know. 45 watt to charge 45 milliamp battery. How fast can the S22 watch from 0 to 100? Let's see. Just over an hour, according to CNN.
But more importantly, 40% in about 10 minutes. The only
Oh wow, especially swapping the battery out.
Caveat I would add to that is that, we talk about this idea of running 4 intensive applications at the same time. Yeah, I mean, if you do that all day, that can kill it, but it's good battery. Okay, last couple of things. There's a fingerprint scanner baked into the power button.
Okay.
And while it is able to work even when your fingers are a bit damp, I've not found it that reliable. I've had quite a lot of times where I'm kind of doing this. Yeah. The phone has not a dual, but a triple speaker setup. There's one at the bottom.
That's good. I heard that the Z Fold 5 is the best speaker thing. There's also GI. What do you think about that? What is GI? What is GI? The glycemic index? GI versus AI. Oh, AGI. Artificial general intelligence expects the machine to be as smart as human. Sure, I guess that's fine. Like, it's not going to do anything by itself, right? And of course, it's powered by electricity, right? So if it ever tried to overthrow the government or something, you just unplug it. So, we always have that over it.
And 2 at the top, which when I first heard about, I thought sounded like a transformative experience, but in reality, it's just good. It means you're
What how good the earpiece is. He hasn't talked about call quality.
quite likely at any given time to be covering
Oh, I did hear a review from like MKBHD. No, Mr. Mobile. It's kind of like the call quality is low, so that's not good.
one of them. But then again, on the other hand, even when you are covering one of them, you're still getting what feels like very full surround sound. It's the best set of speakers on a foldable. It's just not the best set of speakers on a phone. Like the Asus ROG phones are crazy. So overall, I can't help but like the Oneplus Open. It's not perfect. I wouldn't say this single-handedly fixes the foldable, and it definitely loses a few points for stability right now. But the specs are world-class, the software is genuinely innovative, the cameras are up there, and it has the battery to back it
I wonder how well it run Microsoft Launcher,
all up, with the
because I found that to be kind of like intensive.
cherry on top being the fact that it's also more
And if it can run other launchers too.
affordable than the market leader Samsung.
Ish, but you can buy it from eBay, which is legions of times cheaper.
Hand that to you. Okay, so I've talked about the Opera browser.
And now we got that. All right, that's great. Now we got one more thing to talk about, unless A has some questions for us. We always open to Q&A session. So we all talked about keys for kids. Let's check my notes here. We got DGL, AIO, my school poll, Oneplus Open, the dialer. So we got everything on my notes today, which I actually you got sticky notes on. Oh, I want to talk about Edge for a little bit. Yeah, Microsoft Edge Mobile. And the thing is that they took away like a really good feature in terms of beauty. So what we have here is we have the OnePlus, not OnePlus. We have Microsoft Edge. I'm going to open a new tab. There you go. As you can see here, we got the Bing AI, which can summarize pages and PDFs. That's really good. They changed the logo to like this little blue thing. That's fine. And then we got this tab button here. But they used to show the number of tabs you had open in the tab button, which that made sense, right? I don't know why they don't do it anymore. Do it in incognito, whatever. And I don't know why they did that. And then, of course, we have Microsoft Launcher here, which if you swipe over, look, I was able to add my notes there. Ooh, I think I got the news. There we go. I was able to get my notes like there, right there. So they sync to my Microsoft account. So that's great. Microsoft Launcher. I wonder how well it can, do on a foldable form factor like this. All right, now let's get into the tips and trick here. So I'm just going to go to what's it called? What's that calculator called? Numworks. There it is. NUM. So I know I did download the emulator, but I'm just going to show it on the screen here, like the browser version of it here. And welcome back, viewer A. I'm going to be showing off this. Now, this is SAT legal. So this is useful to know how to do, like, solving, like, factoring on the Numworks here. So I'm going to have a full screen here. What you want to do is you want to go into Grapher, and you're going to click your number. So it's going to say 17. 17 doesn't have any factors. Let's say 26 divided by x. Okay, and you plot your graph. You get your graphs here, but what we're really interested in is a table. And you can see here 1 and 26, they multiply, 2 and 13, they multiply together, and those would be the only factors. And of course, you have to do the adding and you bring yourself. So 2 and 13 would be 15. So if you want to solve equations, and of course, you can solve equations on here. So let's say you can also solve equations on here, but we did a whole episode like that. So this is, and of course you can do substitutions. pretty clear. Well, whatever, you could do substitutions, equations, blah, blah, blah. On Numworks. Of course, if you want to substitute, that's great. Good for solving on the SAT. All right, we're going to see if we have any more questions from our reviewer A. If not, God bless you all. And tech talk to you later. So we're just going to see if you have any questions that come in from here and see if there are any OnePlus opens on eBay. So I think I might buy that Numworks calculator. Should I buy Galaxy Smart Tag 2? Let's see. OnePlus Open. I searched for it like yesterday or today. There might be some on the market. Let's see. No questions coming in. Oh, wow. How nice is it? I can get a OnePlus Open for an astonishingly low price of... You're not going to believe this. $2,389. No. So that looks like it's the only OnePlus Open right now. Well, it's on eBay, so I would not get that. That is like literally like $700 of a budget from the UK. Oh, we have 2 viewers in. Does any of you have any questions in before we end the stream? I guess I can show some stats. Let's see what we have here. Sweet tricks. Viewer number 2. And of course, if you guys want to support the channel, as always, the Buy Me a Coffee link at the bottom, right there. Not obligatory or anything like that. Next week, we'll be showing off our antenna. We're probably going to go live a little bit later, maybe like 5 o'clock. We're doing some cybersecurity. Yes, AGI. I talked about AGI. I think it's fine. Remember, like AGI can get like unplugged if need be. And of course, like I said, I'm not really big into conspiracy theories. I find them annoying. And got questions would agree with me. So for the past 3 months, site traffic has been declining. Ooh, we may not even hit 1,000. Dang, that's bad. We need to get back to our 1,700 views. I don't know what happened to our views. Maybe it's because we like pumped back up. Oh yeah, this is not good. Let's see what we have this 7 days. Oh, finally, back to pre-August levels. 47, 34, 21, 26. And okay, so it's okay levels here. Thank you to the US, India, Australia, UK, Russia, Canada, Switzerland, Philippines, Singapore, South Africa, Israel, Netherlands, Germany, Mexico, Taiwan, Ukraine, Norway, Belgium, Italy, Thailand, Poland, Japan, Indonesia, France, Czech Republic, Zimbabwe, Serbia, Brazil, Nigeria, Costa Rica, Morocco, Ghana, Austria, Estonia, Yemen, Mali, Spain, Bahamas, Malaysia, New Zealand, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Barbados, Slovakia, Sweden, Lithuania, and Egypt for all visiting the website. Top articles, or of course the launcher, M8 for M7, blah, blah, blah. Expos, remove finishes, form, MC converter. Wait, really the form? 7? Oh, so that's like a top. Open up the Samsung ePio. Oh, there you go. Sorry, interviews. There's like two viewers from there. Top referrals from Google, Reddit, DuckDuckGo. So there's that. I guess we need to like really like press in on social media marketing. We'll be live for another 3 minutes. If any of you have more questions, we'll be finishing at the 2-hour mark. So hopefully you check this out. All right, as we're finishing out our time. So we had 2 minute and 15 second session duration, so that's good. It'd be even better if we had ads, but we don't need ads. Or have ads. We just all right. All right, let's see if we have any more questions rolling in. All right, just a few more seconds here. Okay, if you have any more questions, you can put them in the comments below. You have like 30 more seconds to send in the question unless I find a really funny article to. No? Okay. Type into. Oh, why do we use a Wi-Fi logo for our company? It just, evokes tech, a tech feeling of tech. And at that time, it kind of looked like the Sprint logo when Sprint was still a thing because we founded it in 2020 when I was wee little kid. Yeah. So let's see. I'll add 1 more minute to the clock since he asked the question and we answered it. So we'll see if he has any more follow-up questions. Oh. Out of my question, what do you think? Be honest. Am I a smart guy? Am I stupid? You seem pretty smart. You're asking about AI, Wi-Fi, AGI. You watch tech YouTube. So God bless you and your family as well. And of course, read the description. Have salvation messages down there because we're dedicated to Christian values here at the Tech Boy Media. All right, 1 minute. It's back on the clock to see if you have any more questions here. This is a question and answer session. Once we run out of questions, then we'll end the stream. Okay, so we got like 20 seconds left. So I'm just gonna keep scrolling. Oh, I wonder who's winning the Diamondbacks game. Oh, it's at 7. All right, 2, 1. We'll just see if there are any more questions. And I can't dedicating for Christians. I don't know what that means because I'm Muslim, but we can still be friends. Okay. I don't know what you mean by dedicating. But okay. And we're just 1 minute back on the clock. All right. So no more questions at this time. God bless. Tech talk to you later. Pray for the nation. And we're out. Bye from Houston, Texas.